for a lawyer Paul Adom Otre at the Sembi Ababatuja concerning a Manasseh Azuri Awuni or ye NDC journalist Prekope. Now Ghana for a Manasseh Awuni Azuri at the book be a betuja. Na pese oso eye napo ehwe no hu se napo begina na se onjina na se quickly na napo anjina na ode akọ outside napo indeed oye proud no ye arrogant so no betumi nya the approval of many Ghanaians na we na ye adwana ehye Manasseh Awuni Azuri itim na Ghana for things turn out not the way it's supposed to be, to the extent say ode book no koma eye napo ana se Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempe no original o approve book no na hwe se na apaye ni maya ode hwe napono it wasn't really good cry anya no nko Ghana for na lawyer Paul Adom Otre echema o zi nipa ku umpe na asem umpe na nima hwe so adentina wo seresere eche nipa ku no eche sitini o wodo no na we obesa wo kan ho na sumi hu a sanema we na aya camouflage eni sheda eni umu we ni sensema tiefo omde tu edwa Ghana for ensemble ne kunu kutiesa ensem we twemu bra medamu ina ase
Hughes, Doajao, Chairman, you have been there. Today, Manasseh is seeking to explode all of that by writing a book and saying that he has been told that parliamentarians take bribe to pass ministers at the appointments committee hearings. That's what he's saying, denigrating the parliament of Ghana so that he be made better. This is what Napo is saying to him, that you should have circumspect and exercise a great deal of responsibility in your reportage and the expression of your opinions, because we are striving to deepen our democracy. That's what Napo told him. That's what Napo didn't tell him. He was shaking hands with him and he put this out on social media. This is written by Napo himself or produced by him. So this is very important. When as journalists you're talking or you think, that is why in some countries they don't allow every person to be a journalist. In many countries. Here in Ghana, as they say, you want to be a doctor, you have to get A in biology. You want to be a lawyer, you have to get A in literature. You want to be a journalist, go for a diploma. That's what they did to us. That's what the Obroni did to us. Go to his country. You want to be a journalist, you must come from Oxford. If you like right now, any CNN journalist you know, Anderson Cooper, Google them. You see Harvard JD. That is one of the highest qualifications in American academia. Harvard JD is one of the highest qualifications in America. Every CNN journalist is Harvard JD. Google it right now and tell me who's done. Abby Phillips, Anderson Cooper, whoever you can mention. Harvard JD, Harvard JD, Harvard JD. Go to BBC. You will see political science, philosophy, and economics, PPE. You see Oxford PPE. Cambridge languages. That's where they take their journalists from. They take their journalists from the highest possible qualification of the land. Because journalism is more important than medicine. Because medicine administers to an individual. Journalism shapes opinion. And so you can't leave that. But why did a white man do that to us? He left our country and said, you want to be a doctor, get A. You want to be this, get A. But as for journalism, go and do diploma. The first journalists in Ghana were some of the highest qualified people. Kwame Nkrumah, Dr. Dankwa, William Oforiatta. They were writing newspapers. And that's how we were able to win independence for us. After that, Nkrumah too continued. Journalists who come from diploma. Why are you putting the journalist at diploma and the doctor at A and the lawyer at A and the engineer at A? You think journalism is not important? That's the photograph of our country. The photograph of our country. Now, I'm not talking even too much about myself. But the other day I had a meeting with the British High Commissioner. This was 2012 election. And I told him that I'm the only one who has covered election 2000 and is still around covering elections. Every other person has left the journalism. The people I started journalism with, zero. They are not here. They've gone to bank. They've gone abroad. They've gone to do PhDs and they are teaching somewhere. But why? I'm here because I'm a mobrower. I don't have anywhere to go. As a mobrower, I don't have anywhere to go. So I've remained in the job. And I have striven hard to attain one of the highest qualifications that we can ever get in my mobrower situation. But we have to change that thinking in our society and our community. That going forward, before somebody is accepted as a journalist, he must be able to be qualified to be a doctor. He must be able to be qualified to be a lawyer. He must qualify to be an engineer. It is only then that we can accept him as a journalist. GBC used to do that. GBC used to do that. Tommy Annan-Forson told me that he worked at GBC for about 4 years before he went on air. He was going to work every day that he works at GBC. His friends used to laugh at it, but you work at GBC, we never hear you. Then one day they had Tommy Annan-Forson. They said, wow, he had gone through 4 years of training. He had gone through the hands of Charlie Sam, He had gone through the hands of all the guys there. He had gone through the hands of Kalajiman Banaman before he became a journalist on GBC radio. Go and ask Godwin Avenogbo. I mean, why are we doing this to ourselves? We just think anybody can become a journalist. We should check that. But if we don't want to check that, no problem. As for me, when I say it, no problem. I just succumb to the majority. If the majority think we shouldn't check that, oh, no problem. Let's go ahead. It will come round to bite us. It will come round. That's what we are suffering today. Look at why must a presidential candidate say this? That journalists must be circumspect about their opinion or reportage. He says, I look forward to quickly reading the book and acquainting myself with the content therein. Our doors remain open for open and frank discussions on every subject matter that seeks to move our nation forward. And that's how the story ended. Manasseh, you should be ashamed of yourself. You are smiling and holding the man's hand and giving him your book. I hope that he didn't buy the books. I hope he took it for free. He didn't buy it. We bought it. Come and autograph it. You go and write that on education. You prefer Jena Nopoko Ajiman to Napo because of politics. Then you go to Napo's office and shake his hand. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. You go to Napo's office and shake his hand. You think he's going to say that he won't shake your hand so that you go and say that he's arrogant. He will never do that. He will shake your hand and collect the book. But he will tell you philosophically that you have not been very sensible. That's what he meant there. That, however, we should be circumspect. He said he hasn't read the book. But you see what he wrote, that we should be circumspect in expressing our opinions because we are building a democracy. That's what he was telling you. It's you he's talking to. It's not me. It's not anybody else. It's you he's talking to. That's your delusions of self-grandeur and wanting to be bigger than anything, so you denigrate the parliament so that you are big. That's the character that he's assessing. Shameful. Look at it. You can say this about a man and go and sit in front of you and be smiling. And the thing you said is not even true. If the thing you said is true, no problem. But the thing you said is not even verifiable. That Jenano Pokwajiman is better than Napo. It's not verifiable. Who can say that? This shoddy work Jenano Pokwajiman did at education, completely shoddy work like that? That the Ghanaians cast a verdict on in 2016 in that manner? Did Ghanaians cast a verdict on Napo in that manner? In fact, in 2020's election, and I always go back to Franklin Kujo, days to the election, he put up his Facebook post. Days to the election. And he said, at the end of the day, the 500,000 votes of free SHS will matter. That's how he ended it. Everybody was checking who's going to win. They say, Okada people, John Mahama is getting 200,000 votes from Okada. Franklin Kujo wrote, at the end of the day, those 500,000 votes from free SHS will matter. The difference between the candidates, 500,000. So Ghanaians cast a positive verdict on Napo's education record. Ghanaians cast a negative verdict on Jenano Pokwajiman's record. Because of politics and hatred, Manasseh was able to say that Jenano Pokwajiman is better than Napo. Then he goes to sit in Napo's office and hopes that Napo will say something. Hey, he's arrogant. When I went to his office, he didn't even shake me. No, he's smarter than that. He's wiser than you. All he will say is what he said. Next time, be circumspect. They say in Akan, Obanyansafo. Continue. Anyway, so that's the end of our story. When I see Manasseh happy in a post company, I admire him so much. Manasseh is such a great actor. You know, I love the guy. He's such a great actor. You can hate somebody in your heart and go, look at you. Manasseh, you have to teach me acting. I love that. Look at how he's smiling. You hate the man. Look at how he's doing it nice. I think he's a great actor. I think Manasseh is super. He's really good. He must teach us how to do these things. If I